Tiffany Henyard is making headlines again, but this time it's for all the wrong reasons. After months of being under investigation for misuse of funds, everything finally exploded when the citizens of Dolton had enough during a heated town hall meeting. The mayor, who had been dealing with accusations of stealing millions, got caught up in a wild brawl that left the community stunned.
These men are attacking him with a deadly weapon, and the mayor, fearing for his safety, did go toward that crowd.
Over the past few months, Tiffany Henyard has been the focus of an investigation with accusations that she's been involved in stealing millions of dollars meant for public programs. As the mayor of Dolton and also serving as the Thornton Township supervisor, her actions have drawn the attention of both local authorities and residents. The situation only worsened when an independent investigator and forensic auditor were called in to track how the grant money and township funds were being used for at-risk youth programs and other community projects.
She ran from behind the table with a microphone in her hand, and she hit me with it, while another one of her staff members was kicking me in the head.
As tensions built up, it was clear that the people were fed up. During a tense town hall meeting, an activist, Jedediah Brown, called Henyard a half-fed mayor and accused her of sleeping her way to the top. That was the spark that set everything off. Brown went as far as calling her a B and saying, "You gone B," which triggered an explosive response from Henyard's boyfriend, Kamal Woods. Woods charged at Brown, and what followed was a wild brawl that had the entire room on edge.
And I was defending myself against Kamal and other individuals. She wasn't breaking up anything.
Stephanie Wiedemann is a 20-year employee, and ain't none of her business ventures ever failed. On top of that, she serves as a chief of staff, and she didn't fuck her way to the top.
Henyard didn't just sit back. Instead, she charged into the chaos herself, shoving a table aside and running straight into the middle of the fight. Eyewitnesses were shocked as they watched her throw herself into the mix as punches flew. At one point, she even lost a shoe and was thrown to the ground amid the violence. It was a chaotic scene that no one in the room was prepared for. The brawl was so intense that television monitors were smashed, and people were jumping on tables, throwing punches, and kicking each other. It was clear that the situation had spiraled out of control. Residents who witnessed the scene couldn't believe that a politician would get involved in such a chaotic mess, with some even calling it an embarrassment.
I understand everybody want me to be the target. I understand everybody want me to be the bad guy for everything that goes on in the village, but that's not the truth.
One shocked witness said, "I've never seen a politician jump in and fight like that. It was scary and horrible." Another added, "When she jumped in, I was floored. It was one thing when the guys were fighting, but when she got involved, I couldn't believe it." Security attempted to break up the chaos, but the damage had already been done. Tiffany Henyard's involvement in the fight was a huge moment that overshadowed the meeting's original purpose.
Catchy, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. And so many other people felt the same way.
And it was something different, something new, something that can give the community hope. I thought that she was the best thing that can happen for Dolton.
And that's a good thing.
At the heart of the meeting were serious questions about how the at-risk youth program, which was run by Henyard's boyfriend, was handling its funds. Both he and his colleague were placed on paid administrative leave, pending the outcome of the investigation. The community's frustration was palpable, and the brawl was a breaking point.
There's a lot of mismanagement of funds, and we're just trying to get some clarity so we can move forward and understand what's going on with all the spending.
After the chaotic brawl and all the negative attention, Mayor Tiffany Henyard tried to defend herself by calling the actions political retaliation. She claimed that the whole situation was a setup by her political opponents, trying to bring her down. She even threatened to file a lawsuit, saying the whole thing was part of a larger scheme to ruin her reputation. Henyard wasn't backing down from her claims, instead doubling down and trying to paint herself as the victim. This statement comes after Henyard recently lost the Democratic nomination for Thornton Township supervisor. She didn't take the loss quietly. In fact, she vowed to fight back, claiming that there was voter suppression involved. It seems like the mayor is convinced that the system is working against her at every turn.
She is efficient in organization. She served as a temporary interim executive director for the Dolton Park District until she stepped aside
But it doesn't stop there. The brawl in Henyard's recent statements come just days after she was found in contempt of court. The issue? She had allegedly been stonewalling liquor licenses for months. The owners of St. Patrick's, a 3-story restaurant, took legal action against her, claiming she had repeatedly promised to sign the liquor licenses, which were already approved by the Village Board of Trustees. But she didn't, and the restaurant owners filed a suit in August because of it.
You challenge this administration, you go to jail.
Even though they turned the mics off, we will continue working on behalf of the residents of Dolton.
Lori will get answers.
And the FBI know. They know everything you doing.
She really felt that she was invincible.
Henyard didn't sign the licenses until the last minute, showing up 30 minutes late to a court appearance and finally signing 2 of the 3 licenses after the court threatened contempt. The whole situation added another layer of controversy to her already questionable actions.
And her daughter moved away to Texas, and when her daughter moved away to Texas, she went to help her daughter. But I done heard about 4 or 5 people tell me how they had to take care of yours.
Because I wouldn't donate the money anymore. I wouldn't give her any more money.
Gardner says he was among several business owners who shortly after Henyard took office complied with her request for a $3,500 donation to the village.
Henyard's attorney, Bo B. Brindley, stepped in to defend her, calling the situation a result of endless false accusations and outright lies spread about her on social media. He argued that the mayor was being attacked by political enemies trying to tarnish her reputation, and that this led to the violence at the town hall meeting. Brindley went on to say that in the age of social media, unchecked falsehoods can create a toxic environment and cause unnecessary aggression. According to Brindley, the real issue wasn't the mayor's actions, but the misinformation being spread online, which he claimed put Henyard and others in danger. It's clear that Henyard's team is trying to shift the narrative, suggesting that the whole incident was a result of political and social pressures beyond her control.
And I'm gonna give away the rest of my time because I think on behalf of the Black Cookout Association that we would rather take a vote that we're gonna exchange your black ass for Stephanie.
Of course, just about a week after the brawl, the Dolton Village Board had to hold another meeting. But this time, things were different. Given the violence that had erupted during the previous meeting, the board decided to take extra precautions. Security was heightened, and everyone entering the meeting had to be cleared by security. The trustees were even debating whether it was safe to hold the meeting in person after what went down the week before.
You feel responsibility because they were your employees.
I feel responsibility to tell the truth, and that's what I'm doing.
But the big twist came when Tiffany Henyard was nowhere to be found. The mayor didn't show up to the Dolton Village Board meeting, and the meeting went on without her. It was clear that after everything that had unfolded, her presence wasn't required to move forward with the village business. The decision to proceed without her was probably a sign of the growing divide between Henyard and the board, as well as the increasing public pressure on her leadership.
She wanted to bring back unity in the community. So she wanted to make sure that she bridged the gap. She did a lot of knocking on doors, did a lot of trying to, talk to people, making those connections with people, just trying to make sure that she is the people's mayor. She did that.
She even went around to residents who had some issues with her. And, I know a couple of people who were like, I don't know, but she, assured people that she would work with her team.
The Monday night meeting wasn't just significant because of the extra security. It was also the first meeting following the release of a highly damaging report about Dolton's financial management. An independent investigation, led by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, revealed widespread financial mismanagement in the troubled South Suburb. The report accused Tiffany Henyard and her administration of deliberately trying to mislead the public, hiding the true extent of gross financial mismanagement both in Dolton and Thornton Township.
You could just give us an amount. I think that would help with our discussion and making a decision.
We don't have a problem with giving you an amount, but this is why sometimes people have to follow the leader. Because sometimes the leader is the visionary. It is what it is.
The investigation added fuel to the fire for Henyard, who had already been facing intense scrutiny for her actions and behavior. Many local residents and board members believe that Henyard must address the findings from the report and explain what went wrong. The financial mishandling detailed in the report was nothing short of alarming, and many feel that Henyard can no longer ignore it.
And the FBI know. They know everything you doing.
She really felt that she was invincible.
If you want to have a little cat fight, we can handle this back then.
During the meeting, Dolton Village trustee Tammy Brown spoke out, expressing that she wasn't surprised that Henyard didn't show up to the meeting, considering the ongoing controversy. But she also made it clear that Henyard's silence about the Lori Lightfoot report was unacceptable. Not responding to the Lori Lightfoot report? I didn't expect her to respond to that anyway, Brown said. The report had already raised serious questions about how the town's finances were being handled, and Henyard was nowhere to be found to answer them.
Put the responsibility where it goes. I understand everybody wants to be the mayor. It's not the mayor. is people put in place.
While some may have expected Henyard to remain silent, the current trustees were clear that she has an obligation to address the findings of the investigation. Trustee Jason House emphasized that the residents deserve answers. The residents are entitled to answers, so I do hope she gives some answers to that report. The residents want to hear and they want to know. It's clear that the community isn't just looking for excuses, they want accountability. Trustee Tammy Brown echoed House's sentiments, stating, "You owe them a response to the findings of Lightfoot, whether they're true or not, or whether you believe they're true or not, you owe them a response." The pressure on Henyard to face these allegations head-on continues to mount.
Lori Lightfoot's not interested in fact, but in spectacle. She's interested in political theater that's going to help her, not the people.
The trustees also brought up the impact that the brawl from the previous week had on the reputation of the town. The physical altercation during the township board meeting wasn't just about mismanagement, it was about how the leadership handled itself. Trustee Brittany Norwood highlighted that the situation had escalated beyond financial concerns. Now the concerns have escalated to a point that is far beyond financial misconduct, Norwood said.
The leader is the visionary. Sometimes people can't see down the tunnel. So sometimes this is why people follow people. So I'm just throwing that out there because everybody got an opinion. You just said, I can't see. Thank you, man. Just get us information.
Residents were now expressing concerns that went beyond money. They were scared for their safety. Now I'm receiving calls from residents who are scared to even attend public meetings. People are afraid of what they witnessed on Tuesday night, where violence and chaos overtook what should have been a peaceful and productive gathering. With violence and chaos taking center stage, Dolton residents are left wondering if their town will ever regain the trust and peace it once had. At the Monday night meeting, another stunning revelation came to light. Dolton Village had defaulted on one of its life insurance policies for employees due to non-payment. According to trustees, this was all blamed on a clerical error, and they promised to fix it immediately. However, the fact that something so basic as a life insurance policy was overlooked for non-payment only added to the growing concerns about the administration's mismanagement of funds. This situation is just another reminder of the financial chaos surrounding Henyard's leadership. And let's not forget, this wouldn't be the first time Henyard's actions have been questioned. She has previously been accused of using the town credit cards for personal purchases, further adding to the long list of allegations against her. The misuse of funds seems to be a recurring issue, and it's clear that her administration is having a hard time keeping things in check.
And so while you've been half mayor, but if you wanted to get up here and earn some respect, then you should have been able to respond to Lori Lightfoot's report about credit cards.
But the hits didn't stop there. Back in August 2024, Carmen Carlisle, a former assistant to Henyard and now a Thornton Township trustee, broke her silence and exposed Henyard for corruption. Carlisle accused Henyard of unethical and predatory behavior in her efforts to increase her influence in the community. She revealed that for the past 2 years, Henyard had manipulated employees, vendors, and residents, all while projecting a false image of success funded by hardworking taxpayers. Carlisle, who had previously kept quiet about Henyard's lavish spending, admitted that she had trusted the administration. But once the spending habits became impossible to ignore, she couldn't stay silent anymore. Henyard was using taxpayer money for her own gain, and Carlisle wasn't going to let it slide any longer. In her statement, Carlisle made it clear that Henyard's bad leadership had affected not just herself, but many others who had been retaliated against, fired, or lied to by the mayor. This wasn't just one person's story. It was a pattern of behavior that had harmed many. The Board of Trustees responded to this whistleblowing by voting to add restrictions on spending for special events and access to credit cards. This move was designed to put an end to the reckless spending that had been taking place under Henyard's watch. But Henyard didn't take these accusations lying down. In a heated exchange at a special meeting called by Carlisle, Henyard fired back, even giving her former ally a new nickname, Lion Carlisle. Henyard's response showed just how deep the division had become. Instead of acknowledging the serious concerns about her leadership, she blamed everyone else for the chaos. Henyard, in her usual combative style, responded by questioning why Carlisle hadn't spoken up sooner. But with so many people questioning her actions, it's hard to believe Henyard will be able to escape the fallout much longer. With all the chaos surrounding Tiffany Henyard, from financial mismanagement and fraud allegations to full-blown brawls at public meetings, the question on everyone's mind is, has she lost all support? At this point, the backlash against Henyard isn't just from political rivals, it's from the very people she was elected to serve. The Dolton community is furious. Their tax money, meant for public programs and services, is at the center of corruption allegations. Their mayor, instead of addressing these issues professionally, is making headlines for all the wrong reasons, jumping into fights, dodging critical board meetings, and playing the victim while under investigation.
So this will be the final report on an investigation that Lori Lightfoot started last last year. Now, her preliminary finding in August found that this village, now drowning in debt.
Meanwhile, trustees are demanding accountability, whistleblowers are exposing corruption, and independent investigations are confirming the town's financial instability. Even former allies are turning against her, claiming she used her position for personal gain. The latest reports paint a grim picture of an administration that has completely lost control. So, after everything that's unfolded, from financial mismanagement and fraud allegations to chaos at public meetings, it's clear that Tiffany Henyard is in the hot seat and her time as mayor could be coming to an end. But what do you think? Is this the last straw for Henyard? Will she be able to survive the backlash from the public and her political enemies? Or is this only the beginning of her downfall? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all the latest drama, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a thing.